4 years ago, I started feeling different pains in my body. I went through several tests, and after 4 or 5 different visits to different departments, we were able to zero in. My sickness was all over my body, in my blood, all my organs, in my bone. It was very, very difficult and aggressive. A little while after, I went to the OHEL. I wanted to make sense of everything that was happening, and as I was writing my letter, there was a gentleman sitting not far away from me, just learning in the oil, and I'm looking at him. He had such excitement in his face, with a phone and a stand, and he was learning something. And for me, this was extraordinary. I've never seen any such energy. And I said, what is he doing? What kind of learning is this? After 7-8 minutes, when he was finished, I said, I have to approach him. I said, knock, knock. He looked at me. I said, excuse me, what are you learning? What are you doing? He says, I'm learning. I said, what are you learning? He says, I'm learning the Rambam. And this is called the Rabbi Gordon app. I downloaded it right away. And once I saw the app, I said to myself, Cohen, we're starting today. I also saw some videos by the Rebbe in which he was actually telling to people how he was promoting it and the importance of it, the unity of it, that you're not alone.
Kol Yisrael in demselben Minyan, wie das ist in Teiro.
When I would do this, for me, the learning is, I said to myself, in my home, in my pain and difficulty, I'm not alone. I'm doing this learning with other people throughout the world. Yes, it's hard to be learning and to find the time, but I said, I have it in front of me. It's only a finger away. And I was going at it day after day, and I had many opportunities to quit. I was extremely sick. And when it became much more aggressive, the whole body started sweating. The whole situation just deteriorated. On the first day, on the way to the hospital, when I was on the way, I had my app and I was learning the Rambam. There were days in which I was completely in fatigue. I couldn't breathe. I was like this, sitting. And then COVID was very, very difficult because my immune system was completely shut down for the COVID. It was a death sentence. The doctors didn't know what to do. The situation was just getting worse and worse and worse. The doctors basically threw the white towel on me. And in those days, I never quit the Rambam. The Rambam, the app was always next to me. I would have Rabbi Gordon's Shiurim always going. I was connected to the Rambam, I was connected to the Torah, and I had one day at a time. And I said to Hashem, Hashem, I only have today, one day in front of me. I have no guarantee for tomorrow, for the learning of the next day. What I have is today. That was a day that I did not give up. That is a day that I was not going to lose. That was a day that I'm going to be connected to Hashem. There were days in which you couldn't even eat. It was pain, you were in fatigue. But again, I said, Hashem, give me the power to go through this day again. Each day I tried to make count because each day was extraordinarily difficult for me to go through treatment. 4 months passed and I'm still, against all odds, I'm remaining alive. But then, you know how they say, Yeshuat Hashem ke'eref ayin? New thing came, which was called convalescent plasma. It was just approved by the government. They sent 1,000 vials to New York. They gave it to me, and 3, 4, 5 days later, I stood up myself and just walked home on my own to my wife and children. And then I said to myself, if you are able to learn when you are sick, definitely you are able to continue when you are healthy. So after I recovered from COVID, I always would come and I would speak on Shabbat. I said, people, look, I learned the Rambam. It helped me to recover from my illness. And one thing led to another. And then 4 or 5 months ago, in our own shul where I pray, we started the shiur of the Rambam on a daily basis. This is business people, doctors, jewelry people, butchers, professionals, people that need to be at work. They stay and we're learning the Rambam together. It all began, so to speak, on an app with a person that is not even here. A person teaching me is in Shamayim. Now I look forward. It doesn't matter. I wake up in the morning, I put my kids in the bus, I go to shul. We look forward to this shiur of the Rambam. This is an extraordinary end to the story, but is also an extraordinary beginning.
Fahre sicher der Mischnetere, wird tegen voneinander getreten in P. Gimel Haloches, wo das in der Wattel tu was Reise Machla Mikir Becher. Und wie der Reifen ist in der Refuhr Shalomayla ist, Amila Chatchila Leosim Alech.
Maybe this was ultimately what the Rebbe intended when we went to the oil a number of years ago, that will come a day in which the Rambam will come all the way to Rico Park